What's up, guys? Welcome to Psycho Speaks. I'm Psycho. In today's video, we'll be discussing domestic violence and ways to tell if someone's being abused, what you can do to help that person. If you know someone that's going through it, if you yourself is going through it, hopefully this video will help you find what you need. In order to set yourself free and to get out of the relationship that you're in, or whatever domestic violence encounter you're going through right now. So let's jump right in. Let's go ahead and start discussing. So domestic violence can start anywhere, anytime. So domestic violence can start anytime. It doesn't have to, like, you could be together for years, then it just start. The most common is either when you first meet somebody, or once you get to know that person is when that starts sometimes. Here's subtle signs to look for in domestic violence. If someone is controlling or being controlling towards somebody, if they're starting to control you and tell you what you can and can't do, or who you can and can't go see, and stuff like that, then that's one of the major signs. Isolating you, if they start isolating you and telling you can't go anywhere. Being cruel to animals or children. If they're being mean to animals or children, they're gonna start being mean to you. That's the hard truth about it. I mean, there's really no pretty way to discuss domestic violence. I'm sorry, my nose is itching. It's a hard subject to discuss. And there's a lot of things that I know people want to hear. A lot of people sugarcoat on it, but I mean, this is some things right here that just can't be sugarcoated at this point in time. This is things that just kind of need to have some light shined on them. If they start criticizing you for whatever you do, if they start criticizing you about everything, then domestic violence is about to start up. Sometimes frustration can get the better of us, and sometimes, we can say things that we don't mean, or sometimes, if we get stressed out enough, we start getting angry toward people, but that doesn't make us abusers. That doesn't mean that you're, involving yourself in domestic violence like that. It just means you're stressed. But if you end up making a habit out of it, like if someone's making a habit out of doing this stuff, then you have something to worry about. If this person becomes jealous or possessive over you, if you can't even talk to someone without someone getting mad about it or something like that, or jealousy setting in, stuff like that, can be signs that domestic violence is also getting ready to start. If they demand you to meet their every need, is also a demanding. They're demanding you to do whatever they want to do. It doesn't matter what you want to do, and they're gonna try to belittle you for whatever. That's not something to want to have to deal with. It's not something you deserve to deal with. Later on in the video, I'll tell you what you can do to help whoever's going through anything like this. If they admit to abusing previous partners but say it was their fault, which is usually what a domestic violence abuser will do, they'll try to make it seem like it's everybody else's fault but theirs. if they demand greater involvement at the start of the relationship, so if it starts out to where they're like, I want you to do this, do this, do this, then domestic violence doesn't necessarily have to be hands-on abuse. It can be mental abuse as well. They can degrade you, humiliate you, blame you for stuff. They'll scream at you and yell at you. They'll try to do anything to work on your mental case to make you feel like you're the littler person, to make you look weaker. That way they can use it against you. They'll lie to you, cheat on you. There's just a whole new number. There's a whole list. I mean, the list goes on and on things that they'll do to try to belittle you. They'll try to make you feel like the smallest person ever. That way they can use it against you. Here are some ways to help a victim of abuse. So if anybody you know has those signs, or you yourself have those signs, here are some ways that you can help. Is don't judge that person. No judgments. Because, I mean, we don't know what they're going through, Everybody's fighting their own battles. And domestic violence is one of those battles. It's a silent battle. And it's called the silent battle for a reason. It's a silent battle because we're too afraid to stand up. Because we're afraid, this is our lives in danger, and stuff like that. So we're afraid if we get anybody else involved, or if we start coming out and talking about it, if the abuser finds out, things are gonna increase and get worse. I understand. I know. I've been there. I've been afraid. I've feared for my life. I've had someone tell me they were gonna end their life if I didn't stay with them, and stuff like that. Okay, back to the ways that you can help a victim of abuse is you can encourage a conversation, but don't push. So just let them know that you're there to talk when they're ready to talk. Be sincere about that. I know as hard as it is to discuss domestic violence, it is something that needs to be discussed. But it's not something that we can just hop into a conversation with. It's very hard. Respond with patience, support, and encouragement. Be as kind as you can about it. Make sure they know that you're supporting them 100%. Keep things private. So if they have, if they have enough trust in you to come clean about what's going on, don't gossip about it to other people. Try to keep things as secret as possible. Main reason is because if the abuser finds out that this person said something to you about the situation going on, then things are going to get worse for the person that's being abused. And again, that's why it's one of the silent one. That's why it's a silent thing. It's because people are so afraid to discuss it. People are so afraid to talk about it because of that, because they're afraid of what will happen. Be there regardless of excuses, rejection, defensiveness, or denial. So sometimes people don't want to talk about it. And at that point in time, they're probably going to deny that it's happening simply because of, that's protecting themselves. So if they're denying that something is going on, but they're showing signs of it, just do your best to hold on tight. Just be there no matter what. regardless of how many times they try to push it away. They'll come clean eventually. They'll tell you about it. Reassure them that this is not their fault. It's not their fault they're being abused. And it's not. I honestly think that abusers pick their victims. I think that they pick them on ways that they see them through their own eyes. Like, if you look at someone and you see that that's a kind-hearted person, an abuser's gonna use that against you. Only because, I'm sorry guys, I'm tired. Only because they feel like that's a weak point and they know that you're soft, per se, and, it's an easier target for them, less of a fight. That means that you're always gonna come back, no matter what. Don't assume that the abuse is not that serious. All abuse is very, very serious. And be sure to let them make their own decisions. So, like, even though you want them out, don't be forceful about it. Because, like I said, they can get hurt real bad in the long run. Provide practical support. Like I said before, someone that's going through something like this is going to need a strong support system. And you letting them know that you're there for them is the biggest thing in the world to them. Honestly, it means more to them than you know. Helping them rebuild themselves, so helping them to where they feel like a little better about themselves, I guess you could say. Self-love, helping their esteem get up more. Look after yourself. So if you're gonna get involved in something where somebody's in a domestic dispute or a domestic violence relationship, if you plan on getting involved, just know the abuser's going to come after you too. And if you're wanting to get involved like that and you're serious about supporting this person, which they need a lot more than you know they need, be prepared. Be prepared for whatever the abuser is going to throw at you. So let's go ahead and talk about the types of abuse. So there's several types of abuse. There's physical abuse, which is hitting, punching, physical restraints, stuff like that. Or they actually put your hands on you, you know, and they hurt you. Anything where they're trying to harm you. There is emotional abuse, which is insults and threats and isolation, stuff like that, where they're calling you names. They'll belittle you, humiliate you, yelling, screaming, controlling what you do, what you wear, where you go, isolating you from your friends and family, gaslighting, and those of you that don't know what gaslighting is, it's in my last video. I'll attach it to this one, that way you can just click into it and kind of watch it. Threatening to commit suicide if the partner ever leaves. That is what I like to call guilt tripping. They also have been known to threaten to hurt you or kill you if you leave. And that's where the strong support system comes in. Someone that you can call on, or somebody that you can rely on to be there to help you get out of a relationship that is that drastic. Needs to be gotten out of immediately. There's sexual abuse where they make you do things you don't want to do, or they'll try to rape you, or will succeed in raping you. They'll threaten to make you do unwanted sexual actions. Some people have been known to purposely infect people. So they'll go out and catch some sort of sexual transmitted infection, and they'll transmit it or pass it along to you on purpose to hurt you. Unwanted kissing or touching. That's the type of sexual abuse. If you don't want it, like, no is no. No means no. You don't have to take that. You don't have to do it. And I know at this point, like, in an abusive relationship with domestic violence, I know you're scared. I was scared. I was scared to do anything. It can be scary to face by yourself. That's why I say get you a strong support system. Surround yourself with people that are not afraid to deal with things like that and that can help you out of it. Me being one. I'm not afraid of it. If anybody's ever stuck in some sort of relationship like that, I know it's hard to come clean about it. I know it's hard to just come out and say, I'm being abused, can you help me get, But the sooner you take those first steps, the better. I promise, it'll be so much better on you. I like to look at it in this kind of perspective. I look at it like it hurts more to hold on than it does to let go sometimes. And in a domestic violence relationship, it's okay to let go. And I want people to understand that it's okay to be different. That being said, I've got some ways or some things to quit telling yourself. These are things to quit doing. Quit trying to please everybody. You can't please everyone. I've tried to be a people pleaser, and you just can't do it. It's almost impossible. Quit fearing change. As hard as that is to live by. Change is gonna happen. Change is gonna happen whenever, wherever. And you just have to kind of prepare yourself for it. Quit living in the past. That one's a sticker. That one's a real hard one. I live in the past a lot. But I feel like it's really hard to move forward if you're constantly looking back. Quit overthinking. I do a lot of overthinking, so overthinking is just something that's a default for us. We can't help it. Quit being afraid to be different. There's that I was talking about a little bit ago. Being different is okay. Nobody's the same. Nobody's the same. I don't care how many people say they're, nobody's battles are the same. Everybody's going through something, and everybody is going through something different. Everybody's battles are different. Don't be afraid to be different. It's okay to. We were made different. That's what makes us us. That's what makes us who we are. Quit beating yourself up over mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. And If anybody sits there and tells you that they don't make mistakes, they're lying to you. Everybody makes mistakes. Stop sacrificing your business to others. Hold on a second, guys. I'm sorry, I just had like a 10-mile long yawn. I'm really exhausted. Okay, stop sacrificing your business to others. So, sometimes people aren't really your friends. Sometimes they'll talk to you and pretend they're your friend to find out certain information. I know that's terrible for me to say, but that's the sad truth about it. And sometimes people will use your business against you, or they'll run their mouth to other people and create more problems. But you can't let that ruin you from trusting people, because I mean there are actually some good people out there. Stop thinking you're not good enough. And that's what manipulation does. Domestic violence will make you think that once you've been manipulated for so long, you'll eventually think that you're not good enough. And you can't listen to it. You can't listen to whatever your brain's telling you. You're good enough. You are good enough. And that's where anxiety ties in as well. Anxiety will tell you things that you don't want to hear, and eventually you start believing them. It'll start telling you that you're nothing, that you're worthless, that you're not good enough, and you gotta ignore it. You gotta find some way to retrain your mind to where you think that you are good enough, because you are. What's going on to you, or with you, I'm sorry, I was like looking, I thought my door was opening, it was weirding me out. What's going on in your life right now is not your fault. It's not. Domestic violence abusers find people that they can feed on that they think are weak, and at some point you have to show them that you're not weak. Look, here's the way I see it, okay? You're being abused, but you don't want to be. So maybe it's time to stand up and show them you're not weak anymore. Maybe it's time you show them who's boss. If you're gonna go down swinging, is what I always say. So, that concludes this video of domestic violence for now. I tried to do this video without triggering myself, but it didn't work. I'm triggered a little bit myself, because any of you that's watched my last video of gaslighting knows that I am a domestic violence survivor. I was in a domestic violence relationship for 4 years. And I got out. So, for those of you that think that you can't get out, I'm living proof that you can. And, I wish you luck. I hope this video helps you find whatever you're looking for. Psycho Speaks now has an email address for those of you that need someone to reach out to. We do have the We Are the Warriors page on Facebook. You want to look for the picture with the semicolon, that's us. If you don't have a Facebook, but you have an email address, we have an email now. It's psychospeaks@gmail.com. Psycho spelled just like it is on my shirt. Psyko speaks. It's raining right now, but that's not a bad thing. Rain brings beautiful things, and that's kind of the perspective you have to look at on certain things in your life. Just because there's a storm, I always look for the rainbow after the storm. That gives me my positive motion. I like to look for rainbows after storms. It's dark now, so I can't look for a rainbow, but I guess my motive is, what I'm trying to say is, there's always a positive side in a negative day. There's always good in a bad day. No matter how bad things are, look for the positive, look for the good. I guess on my next video, I'll try to go into more detail about domestic violence without triggering myself. Till next time, if you like what you've seen, please subscribe. If you need someone to reach out to, don't forget to reach out to us. I'll drop all my links on here. They're going to be in the description on this video. In the description, I'll put the link to our Facebook page. And the video here, I'm going to put my channel, my other channel thingy, and some other stuff. I'm gonna put some stuff on here so you'll know where to click to. I'm gonna put the thing for my other video about gaslighting, so if you haven't watched that yet, you can click to it and watch it. That way you can hear my domestic violence story as well. I tell my story in that one. Till next time, guys, if you like what you've seen, please subscribe and stay tuned, because I'm gonna put more videos up. I will not quit this. I love it too much. I realize everybody is facing their own battles right now, and you're not alone. And I know it's hard, and I know sometimes you want to give up, but I just want you to know, even though I might not know you, your life means so much to me. Please hold on. Till then, subscribe. Check out my other videos. Again, our email address for those that want to reach out: psychospeaks@gmail.com. Psychos, Psyko, psychospeaks@gmail.com. And Facebook, We Are the Warriors. I'll drop the links and stuff. We'll see you guys. Keep shining. We'll get there together.